Chapter 35. Just You Wait. The organ started up again with its dreary music, and Allie's brother and the others filled out the church. Spencer, tipsy from a few slugs of whiskey, noticed that 3 of her old friends had stood up and were filing out of the pew, and she figured she should go too. Everyone from Rosewood Day hung out at the back of the church, from the lacrosse boys to the video game-obsessed geeks who Allie, no doubt, would have teased back in 7th. Old Mr. Yu, the one in charge of the Rosewood Day charity drive, stood in the corner, talking quietly to Mr. Chaplin, who taught art. Even Allie's older JV field hockey friends had returned from their respective colleges. They stood in a teary huddle near the door. Spencer scanned the familiar faces, remembering all the people she used to know and didn't anymore. And then she saw a dog, a seeing-eye dog. Oh my God. Spencer grabbed Arya's arm. "By the exit," she hissed. Arya squinted. "Is that?" "Jenna," Hannah murmured. "And Toby," Spencer added. Emily turned pale. "What are they doing here?" Spencer was too stunned to answer. They looked the same, but totally different. His hair was long now, and she was gorgeous, with long black hair and wearing big Gucci sunglasses. Toby, Jenna's brother, caught Spencer staring. A sour, disgusted look settled over his face. Spencer quickly jerked her eyes away. "I can't believe he showed up," she whispered too quietly for the others to hear. By the time the girls reached the heavy wooden doors that led to the church's crumbling stone steps, Toby and Jenna were gone. Spencer squinted in the sunlight of the brilliant, perfect blue sky. It was one of those lovely early fall days with no humidity, where you were dying to skip school, lie in a field, and not think about your responsibilities. Why was it always on days like this that something horrible happened? Someone touched her shoulder, and Spencer jumped. It was a blonde, burly cop. She motioned for Hannah, Arya, and Emily to go on without her. "Are you Spencer Hastings?" he asked. She nodded dumbly. The cop wrung his enormous hands together. "I'm very sorry for your loss," he said. "You were good friends with Mrs. De Laurentiis, right?" "Thanks. Yeah, I was." "I'm going to need to talk with you." The cop reached into his pocket. "Here's my card. We're reopening the case. Since you're friends, you might be able to help us. Is it okay if I come by in a couple days?" Sure," Spencer stammered. "Whatever I can do." Zombie-like, she caught up with her friends, who'd gathered under a weeping willow. "What did he want?" Arya asked. "They want to talk to me, too," Emily said quickly. "It's not a big deal, though, is it?" "I'm sure it's the same old stuff," Hannah said. "He couldn't be wondering about," Arya started. She looked nervously to the church's front door, where Toby, Jenna, and her dog had stood. "No," Emily said quickly. "We couldn't get in trouble for that now, could we?" They all glanced at each other worriedly. "Of course not," Hannah finally said. Spencer looked around at everyone talking quietly on the lawn. She felt sick after seeing Toby, and she hadn't seen Jenna since the accident. But it was a coincidence that the cop had spoken to her right before she'd seen them, right? Spencer quickly pulled out the emergency cigarettes and lit up. She needed something to do with her hands. "I'll tell everyone about the Jenna thing. You're just as guilty as I am, but no one saw me." Spencer nervously exhaled and scanned the crowd. There wasn't any proof. End of story. Unless... "This has been the worst week of my life," Arya said suddenly. "Mine too," Hannah nodded. "I guess we can look at the bright side," Emily said, her voice high-pitched and jittery. "It can't get any worse than this." As they followed the procession out to the gravel parking lot, Spencer stopped. Her old friends stopped too. Spencer wanted to say something to them, not about Allie or A or Jenna or Toby or the police, but instead, more than anything, she wanted to tell them that she'd missed them all these years. But before she could say it, Arya's phone rang. "Hang on," Arya muttered, rooting around in her bag for her phone. "It's probably my mom again." Then Spencer's sidekick vibrated and rang, and chirped. It wasn't just her phone, but her friends' phones too. Suddenly, the high-pitched noises sounded even louder against the sober, silent funeral procession. The other mourners shot them dirty looks. Arya held hers up and silenced it. Emily struggled to operate her Nokia. Spencer wrenched her phone out of her clutch pocket. Hannah reached her screen. "I have one new text message." "I do too," Arya whispered. "Same," Emily echoed. Spencer saw she did too. Everyone hit read. A moment of stunned silence passed. "Oh my God," Arya whispered. "It's from," Hannah squeaked. Arya murmured, "Do you think she means—" Spencer swallowed hard. In tandem, the girls read their texts out loud. Each said the same exact thing. "I'm still here, bitches, and I know everything. A."